These are 5 cheap tire brands that independent testing rates well, and that your local tire shop has a direct financial reason to keep off the counter in front of you. Over the next 8 minutes, you'll find out who actually owns each one, what the test data shows, and which number stamped on your sidewall nobody at the register is ever going to walk you through. None of this runs on conspiracy, and the whole explanation sits in the margin. A long-running dealer study from Tire Review broke down where tire shops actually earn their money, and the split is wider than most drivers assume. 28.9% on high performance and 28.8% on light truck and SUV is where house brands and associate brands landed, the ones you've only ever spotted at that one chain. Major brand standard passenger tires averaged roughly 25.5% gross margin by comparison, which leaves about a 3-point advantage sitting on the exact same sale. Those particular figures date back to around the year 2000, so treat the numbers as historical rather than current. The pattern behind them hasn't shifted, and this is where it gets sharper, because the second advantage outweighs the first. Nobody can price shop a house brand. Quote a customer a Michelin and that customer can ring 3 competitors and collect 3 quotes on the identical tire, but quote them an in-house brand and there is nothing on earth to compare it against. Higher margin, zero comparison shopping, and that combination explains the entire steering job. Here's who actually builds the tires hiding under those badges. Number 1 on the list is General Tire. Continental, the German manufacturer, has owned General since 1987, and the brand still turns out roughly 3 million tires a year at its plant in Mount Vernon, Illinois. That combination gives you German engineering and American assembly sitting at value tier pricing. Consumer Reports buys and tests around 800 tires every year, and it runs its treadwear evaluations over 8,000 to 16,000 miles of public road in West Texas. General Tire, in their words, has become synonymous with value. 6 out of the 7 General models Consumer Reports tested in 2024 earned a recommendation, with the Ultimax RT43 and the Ultimax 365 AW standing out from the group. 6 recommendations out of 7 doesn't read like a budget compromise, it reads like a value brand quietly outrunning its own price tag. Number 2 brings us to Laufen and its parent company, Hankook. Laufen arrived around 2014 to 2015 as Hankook's associate brand, and it rolls out of Hankook's own plants in Bekasi, Indonesia, and in Hungary. The nuance deserves accuracy though, because a separate team designs it. Same parent, same factories, different engineering brief, which means Laufen isn't a Hankook wearing a cheaper sticker. Jong-ho Park, president and chief operating officer of Hankook Tire Europe, put it this way in April of 2025, quote, "With our associate brand Laufen, we offer tires that deliver excellent value for money without compromising on safety, reliability, and quality." Testing backs the parent brand up. Consumer Reports named the Hankook Kinergy 4S2A recommended alternative in the performance all-season category, and a tire rack comparison run on a Tesla Model 3 left the Hankook ION Evo AS only about 5 feet behind Michelin in dry braking and about 12 feet behind in the wet. A Korean value-tier tire finishing that close to the most expensive rubber on the wall tells you something about what the premium price is really buying. Number 3 is Kumho. Kumho sits in the Korean Tier 2 bracket with a sporting range that has earned real respect, and it carries a badge swap fact most drivers never come across. Kumho and Marshall are the same brand selling the same tires under 2 different names. That one deserves a beat, because it captures the theme running through this entire video. Badges drive the tire industry, whether you're looking at Kumho and Marshall, General and Continental, or Laufen and Hankook. The name molded into the sidewall reports the size of the marketing budget, and on its own it reports nothing at all about the rubber. Number 4 covers Cooper and Mastercraft. On February 22nd of 2021, Goodyear announced its acquisition of Cooper Tire and Rubber at a total enterprise value of roughly $2.5 billion. That single deal pulled Cooper, Mastercraft, Roadmaster, and Mickey Thompson under a company that already held Kelly and Dunlop in North America. Richard Kramer, Goodyear's chairman and chief executive, framed it this way at the time, quote, "The addition of Cooper's complementary tire product portfolio and highly capable manufacturing assets, coupled with Goodyear's technology and industry-leading distribution, provides the combined company with opportunities for improved cost efficiency and a broader offering." The part that actually matters at the counter comes next. Cooper builds Arizonian, the house brand at Discount Tire, and Discount Tire has held that trademark in use since 1980. Walmart's house brand tells a similar story, since Goodyear registered the Douglas trademark back in 1992 through its Kelly Springfield subsidiary and sells it exclusively through Walmart at roughly $60 to $80 a tire, carrying a 45,000-mile treadwear warranty. The two most common cheap store tires in America come out of the same corporate families as some of the priciest names hanging on the wall behind the sales desk. Number 5 closes the list with Sailun. Sailun operates out of Qingdao, China, with plants inside China, a facility in Tay Ninh, Vietnam established in 2012, and a Cambodian operation where trial production began on November 18th of 2021 before ramping to 9 million units of capacity. Roughly the 16th or 17th largest tire maker on the planet, the company recorded around $2.2 billion in sales as of 2020. American distribution runs through TBC Corporation, owned 50-50 by Sumitomo Corporation and Michelin since 2018. And here's the detail that almost never surfaces. When the United States issued anti-dumping duties on Chinese passenger and light truck tires in August of 2015, Sailun's anti-dumping cash deposit rate came in at 0.00%, while Cooper's landed at 11.12% and Giddy's at 15.31%. The Chinese brand walked away with the cleanest rate in that entire action. Now I owe you some honesty about the title of this video. No rigorous survey data exists on which tires professional mechanics personally bolt onto their own cars, so anything you've heard on that front is anecdotal. Verified dealer data does exist. Modern Tire Dealer runs a monthly demand survey through John Healy at North Coast Research, and in January of 2025 that survey reported, quote, "For the 7th straight month, independent tire dealers reported Tier 3 tires were the most in demand. Tier 3 covers the budget and import brands, which means the people selling tires every single day watched buyers move down market and then stay there. Here's the tool that lets you shop the way they do. Check your sidewall for the UTQG rating, short for Uniform Tire Quality Grading, required on passenger tires since March 31st of 1979 under Federal Regulation 49 CFR 575.104. You get a treadwear number, a traction letter, and a temperature letter. Manufacturers self-certify all 3 grades. They run or subcontract their own testing and assign their own numbers, with no independent pre-market verification and no routine audit behind any of it. A treadwear 500 from one brand carries no real relationship to a 500 from another, and those grades only hold meaning inside a single brand's own lineup. Light truck tires, dedicated winter tires, and some specialty tires skip the system entirely. The second number worth reading is the last 4 digits of the DOT code, where the first 2 give you the week and the last 2 give you the year. 3520 translates to the 35th week of 2020, which tells you how old the tire in front of you actually is. Now comes the part that cuts against my own argument, and you deserve to hear it. Cheap doesn't automatically mean fine. In August of 2007, NHTSA Campaign 07T003000 recalled Chinese-made light truck radials sold under the Westlake, Compass, and YKS names, all traced to a missing or insufficient belt-edge gum strip that allowed tread and belt separation. Around 255,000 tires went back, with up to roughly 450,000 implicated overall. A rollover crash in August of 2006 sat at the center of the case, killing 2 people and leaving a third with permanent brain damage. Squaring that against everything else in this video comes down to a single finding. AAA published an all-season tire study on June 7th of 2018, testing on a Toyota Camry and a Ford F-150, and their conclusion reads, quote, "On average, new high-priced tires did not perform significantly better than new low-priced tires in terms of stopping distance on a wet road surface." Price isn't the variable driving your safety, the specific model is. Wear is what genuinely moves those numbers. That same AAA study found tires worn down to 430 seconds pushed wet stopping distance out by an average of 87 feet on a passenger car, a 43% increase, while cutting handling by a third. Consumer Reports has measured swings of as much as 20 feet in wet braking even among top brands. So here's where all of it lands. Dealers aren't burying cheap tires because cheap tires secretly outperform. They're steering you toward badges that pay them better and that you have no way to price check. General Tire is Continental, Arizonian is Cooper, Douglas is Goodyear, Laufen is Hankook, and Kumho is Marshall. Stop buying the badge and start buying the model. Look up that specific model in independent testing. Read the UTQG within that one brand's own range, check the date code before the tire ever leaves the rack, and replace what you're running before it wears out. Do those 4 things and you'll end up on better rubber than most of the people who paid twice what you did. That's the entire game, and now you know how it's played.